welcome back to another public speaking challenge lesson. Today we're going to look at editing your speech so that we know it has everything it needs to be successful when you present it, including the content and the timing of the speech. After we finish the editing process today, all of next week will focus on the presentation side of the speech. So how to have correct body stance and eye contact and all of those things. So today is your last chance to get your speech in order. Now, yesterday you spent time writing out your speech from the different Seesaw activities. If you did not finish yesterday, spend time now finishing that off because you won't be able to edit anything until your whole speech is on one sheet of paper written out. Once you've done that, come back to this video. Now, I've included this again just to make sure you didn't miss anything. It's a great thing to look through, some great questions to ask yourself to make sure that your speech has all of the different aspects that we've spoken about over the past few weeks. Here is the part of the rubric that I shared at the beginning of this public speaking unit, just to show you what's going to make a great speech and how you can make sure you have what you need to do well in the public speaking challenge. This is the part of the rubric we also normally use when we're at school, so it's worth looking at. So if you have a look here, if you'd like to get a C, that means you're doing exactly as you should be doing and you've achieved the things that we've set out for you to achieve. You're going to need to make sure that your speech has a beginning, a middle, and an end. We did look at all those things with the introduction, the body, and the conclusion. So to have those three sections is what you need. And you need to have your ideas in a logical sequence. That means they make sense. You've got your introduction when you grab the audience's attention, you go through your three main points, and then you wrap it up again at the end. If you can follow that structure, you will do really well. Now, it's important to look down here at the time. A C means you're going to speak within 3 to 4 minutes. If you have a look down here at the D, less than 2 minutes. So it's very important today that if your speech is less than 2 minutes, you follow my instructions to make sure you can bump it in the 3 to 4 minute zone. But also, if your speech is more than 5 minutes, it means you've got too much information and you need to cut some back. Down here, if your speech doesn't have structure or it goes for less than a minute, we'll be looking at not doing as well. If you'd like to do a little bit better, we've got here a very clear introduction and you've got developed arguments. That means your points are stated and you've got some examples. And then you're able to sustain that speech for, again, within the 3 to 5 minute range. And up here at the A, you've got that interesting introduction. Is your content really well developed and you have an interesting conclusion? But worth keeping an eye on here, making sure you have a beginning, middle, and an end, and you're speaking within 3 to 4 minutes. So here's a little thing for you to test out. Time your speech again today just to double check where it's at. So read your speech out loud. Timing it and reading it in your head is not going to give you the proper time. So start your timer, just read the speech out loud and see what you get. Write the time in here. If your speech is less than 3 minutes, here is how you can make it longer. You can add extra detail to each section. Some more detail in the introduction, some more details to your 3 main points, and maybe make your conclusion a little longer. You can add some more examples in each point. So using the word for example to show the audience what you're talking about is a very helpful thing to do. Also, adding in some more adjectives and descriptive phrases is going to make your speech go for a little longer. So if it's less than 3 minutes, you're looking for more detail and more examples. If your speech is longer than 5 minutes, it's time to look at it and see if there's any pieces of information that aren't really key. They're not essential for you to be giving your overall message, and you can cut them out. So that is your task today, to either add some more detail, add some more examples, or cut your speech back a little bit. If your speech is already falling in the 3 to 4 minute time zone, then you can have a little look over your speech to see if you can make it a little bit more interesting, then move on to the next point. So here you will add an audio recording of your speech, and then you will listen to yourself just to check, does it make sense? So as you listen to yourself read it, does it make sense? Yep, tick it off if it does. Is it interesting? Do you think the audience is going to be interested by what you have to say? Tick it off if it's interesting. And do you have the introduction, body, and conclusion in your speech? Tick it off once you've listened back to your own speech. Make sure you look out for the code word today as well. So by the end of today, you should have basically what your speech is going to look like when you do the final recording later next week. Right, all the best with checking the timing of your speech today and editing for detail.